Okay, our first question is coming from Cammie. What is your question to Damona?
I'm 45, I am single, and I am so old school where I am not approaching any man. I can be in a party and we will just have a staring match and then we both go home. What advice or what tips can you give me, Damona, on how to break out of that shell and just go for it? How?
Cammie, you're an old school girl living in a new school world, okay? So I want to just set aside those beliefs that were probably passed down to you from generation to generation. This is how it's done. We're in a completely different paradigm. And just starting a conversation with someone, that is not a marriage proposal, that is not a commitment, that's just a conversation, and you never know where it's going to go. So I really want you to reframe any thinking around it being a rejection. So I would give you a little assignment to be a little bit brave. And the next time you're making eyes at someone, go ahead and initiate the conversation and see what happens. Because the more you do that, Cammie, the less weight you'll put on each individual interaction and the less anxiety and worry that will come up when you go to talk to someone the next time.
Practice makes perfect, right?
Exactly. You got
That'll
it.
be my practice. Thank you.
I agree with that a lot. Also, I really am having like a kind of an aha moment because I am Josie Grossi and I think that everybody can feel that. So when I go up to talk to a guy, here's what's happening on the inside. Hi. But I think all they see is, hey, what's going on? But they can't tell what is happening on the inside, but we think it's all out there.
And he's Josie Grossi on the inside, too. That's the crazy thing.
Is he really?
Yeah, I mean, like Joseph Grossi, I guess.
Joseph Grossi. Oh, my gosh. Damona, I am looking for my Joseph Grossi.
He's out there.
Okay, our next question is coming from Linda. Linda, what is your question for Damona?
Hi, Drew. Hi, Damona. I need help.
Okay.
I've been on and off dating apps for the past 2 years. I'm middle-aged, and I would like to settle down. The last date that I went on, the guy showed up looking 25 years older than his profile picture. He lied about his profession. He said he was a doctor, and he showed up with a stethoscope in his pocket. And he lived in his office.
Oh.
So my question is, how do I get better at pre-screening and screening so I don't get catfished again?
Oh, I love this question.
Well, first of all, Linda, it's not in your head. There's two categories of catfish. There are the people who aren't really confident in who they are, which is what you were dealing with, and the people who have nefarious intentions, who want to scam you and take your money. So I guess the positive side is that we didn't have that kind of catfish, but the negative side is it's disappointing. You've invested time and you had, a hope that this person was going to be who they said they were. So here's what I want you to look out for next time. On the photos, they have to seem current. If they're not crisp digital quality, like we're all carrying high quality cameras in our pockets every day. There is no excuse for having like a scanned photo or something that looks like it's too far away or isn't really clear. And you can always ask for more photos if you're not really sure. Also, in those photos, if they look posed, I'm not talking about like posed, I'm talking about like brochure level pose, that is a really big sign. And especially if they're in a uniform, like you'll see this a lot of times with doctors, with people with people in the armed services. So look out for those things. If your spidey senses go off and you feel like, oh, I don't know about this picture, go and run it through a Google image search. Do you know how to do this? Just in Google, you can go into the search bar, you can go up to image and you can search a photo and see if it comes up associated with anything else, anything that doesn't match with what they've told you.
That's how I found out he wasn't a doctor.
Well, there you go. So you want to do that before you get invested and before you actually meet up with this person. Another sign is that they'll love bomb you. They'll tell you, all of the things that you want to hear. They'll whisper sweet nothings into your inbox. And then if you step back and you read what they've said, you realize it could kind of be said to anybody. It might not be that specific. That could be a sign of the other kind of catfish. Also, if those people don't want to meet up in person or won't at least do a video date, now that is a primary screening to get to the date, to do a video chat date. And if they seem squirrely about that, there's definitely something going on.
Linda, what do you think?
Definitely helpful. I don't know why I didn't think of it myself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you are so stunning.
Thank you.
Like, you are the catch. And I can see this about you. And it's funny, when it comes to ourselves, all of a sudden, we don't have that same sort of fierce loyalty of protection. So you are so worth it. You are so beautiful inside and out. And you are not alone. I swear I've gone through the same exact things. Just elusiveness, too much mystery. I don't know where I stand. I don't know who I'm dealing with. I totally have dealt with the same thing on dating apps. So let's try and figure this out. Because it's not changing.